HVAC or heating and air conditioning question: when determining pressures or and calculating superheat, subcooling, PSIG, which may be pounds per square inch gauge, or I'm not certain on that, but I think that may be what the acronym bespeaks. But notwithstanding, sometimes one has to calculate formulas, and then they have to convert pressures into temperature. Normally, perhaps sometimes the higher the pressure, the higher the temperature. Maybe let's see here. The outer ring here would on these analog gauges would indicate pressure. The R22 would indicate temperature here. So hypothetically, if we are at 100 psig, we cross this. If we're using R22 refrigerant, see it says R22 here in the green, we're at about 59, right at 60. The temperature would be this may be called saturation temperature. I'm not certain. The HVAC guys can add that to the comments, but it may be the temperature where the refrigerant begins to change state from liquid to vapor, and then the vapor becomes a superheated vapor. So the question here, these gauges are good to learn with the analog gauges. One can learn the pressures. Again, the blue would be the low pressure, the red would be the high pressure. But notwithstanding, and one way to verify this, the max is it goes from 0 to 500. On the red, we go from 0 to 800. So it's kind of a no-brainer that this is a higher pressure. But notwithstanding, for this particular scenario here, we have PSIG on the outer perimeter here on the gauge. Inside, according to what, now this would be R22, this may be 410A, this may be 404, I'm not certain on that, but but the green here. So if we're now, at this particular point, what the fun part is, at some point we may understand that these gauges may kind of have a quasi built-in PT chart. So whoever designed this, much more intelligent than myself, but notwithstanding, and say that we have these where we can take 100 psig, cross-reference it here, and that would be around 59 to 60 psig. Well, this is, you say, what does this matter? Well, it's kind of weird. If we go over here to a pressure temperature chart, PT chart, which stands for pressure and temperature perhaps, okay, and we go, each one of these columns, I'm not sure if these would be considered columns, would be a different type of refrigerant. To the left may be the pressures. So over here, we go 100, cross-reference this to 59 or 60. So now let's take the PT chart, go down on the PSIG. Here we are at 100. Now we cross-reference this to R22, and we have 59 for R22. Again, 100 PSIG, temperature 59. If we go to the gauges here, we go to 100, cross-reference this. What do we have? 59. So there's your answer. So some of these analog gauges may kind of have a quasi PT chart. The gauges, once one begins to learn and understand them. So let's go here. Just another example here. Let's go to 50. So at 50, we're somewhere around 25 degrees. We don't want to be this low. Anything below 32 is taboo, because the A coil will begin to freeze. But just for illustrative purposes, we go to 50, cross-reference this around 25. So now we go over here to the PT chart, and we go down and we find 50. What do we have? 25 or 25. I think it's 25 or 26. So go back over here. We go to 50, cross-reference this, and we have about 25 to 26. So this tells you you can get the information from here, or if you have the PSIG, you may be able to get the information from a PT chart, but this is the simplest way. And then one step above this are the digital gauges, and the digital gauges can calculate the superheat, subcooling, and etc., the PSIG saturation temperatures for you. But if you start to learn with this, you start to get an overall understanding of how the system's working. Once one gets the overall understanding, then this may aid in the diagnosis when one has a problem with the system, to know where to go to rectify the problem with the system. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.